Hello everyone, this is part 2 of the Battle Gods of Golgue. Volodo spends 3 years talking to Zeno, giving him instructions, but for Zeno the time only lasted for 1 hour. Zeno became utterly confused and he begins to rise through colorful dimensions, filled with brains, waves, and geometric figures. He was not understanding what was happening to him. His eyes were like spirals, seeing so many things all at once. He looked around to see if he could find Vlodel, who was talking to him some time ago, but all he could see was several stars in the dark empty space in every direction that he looked. Then a bright purple star shines in front of him, and it seemed that he was approaching it. As he got closer to the star, he saw the great Vajran, who was half fish and half man, holding a torch and wearing a pointed hat. Vajran was next to a tower in the middle of a city in the shape of a square with 4 pyramids, one in each of its sides, and 4 towers, one of each corner. Next to each side was a beam with a total of 4 around the city. There was Arioclades representing the Asians, Sanji Crabe, the Latins, Loniferionde, the Afros, and Zeno, the North Europeans. They were in great glory, guarding the most beautiful city called Ariel. Zeno was surprised to see Euryclades and asked, "I can't believe that you are here with us." Before Euryclades was able to give any explanations, Zeno once again began to travel, crossing a single tunnel and spinning inside the wormhole. At the end of the tunnel there was a bright light, and he saw the following scene. All of a sudden there appeared among a fire 3 knights of Magogians. They were 2 Japanese women called Plink and Trink, and the other person was Uplanix from a faraway planet. The 3 said together, "We are here to rescue Arioclades." Uplanix said, "We are the Magogians. Here's a list of the most popular of us all. Serap Raver, the captain. Peter, the prophet. Weavinghook, the expert in philosophy. Pluton, the strength and courage. Arioclades, the mysterious. Plink and Trink, the twins who play musical instruments. And Uplanix, the guru. I, Uplanix, was talking to Wivrak about the current situation of Arioclades, and brought with me Trink and Plink to rescue him from this fire. Trink and Plink then played their guitar, bringing joy to Arioclades, who started having visions of all the wonders of the cosmos. Trink and Plink then showed to Arioclades the bag that Olga the wizard carries with him. It contained several books he wrote, a spotting scope, a monocular, and a binocular. Everywhere Olga goes, he takes his bag from which he can use his equipment to explore the heavens, and from it he learns the boundless knowledge of God. Uplanix then said, "Arioclades, you are such an important soul that Vlodel prevented you from killing Happy Haven, and Xaver threw you in this fire. Now I can see that you regret all what you have done wrong." Uplanix then grabbed a little sphere from his pocket. He opened and a bright light came out of it. Arioclades was blinded by the light, and when he was able to see again, he saw that he had been transported to a horrible place filled with thorns. There he saw Happy Haven fighting against a huge purple eye with arms all around, trying to grab and destroy Happy Haven. Happy Haven had his hair turned red, and he was trying to fight the monster with his sword, but the monster's arms were very strong. Happy Haven was unable to cut one of the arms, and the monster grabbed Happy Haven with one of his long arms. From the eye came a laser that hit Happy Haven, who was about to die. Arioclades was wearing a mask, and he jumped in the scene. When the monster saw Arioclades, the big eye aimed the laser at Arioclades. But when that happened, Happy Haven was able to let go of his sword, which fell right into the eye of the careless monster, popping it. When the eye popped, much blood came out, and a huge explosion occurred, saving the life of Happy Haven. Happy Haven and Arioclades had blood spilled all over them. Happy Haven then asked, "Who are you that saved me?" Arioclades said, "You do not want to know. I am a friend, but I do not want you to tell who I am." Happy Haven said, "Please tell me who you are." Uplanix then appeared magically in the scene and yelled, "Please tell Suhep who you are." Arioclades took off the mask, and in complete shame and disgust for his past, he said, "I am he who tried to kill you in the battle of Armageddon." So Happy Haven was surprised and said, "You are back! I can't believe you saved me." Ericles then said, "I saved you, and I am very sorry for my past. I'm here paying for what I've done to you. I would like to tell you I'm sorry, but I would prefer moving to another portion of the universe. I will never forget what I did to you. I'm just letting you know that I regret my mistakes in the past, but I chose to live far away from you." So Happy Haven was amazed, scared, and surprised at the same time. Ericles and Uflonix disappeared soon after. When Ericles opened his eyes, he was found in heaven, in a beautiful garden with many flowers of all different colors. His sufferings were gone, and he had been finally saved. The angel appeared next to him and said, "Now please write all this story into a book." And this is the book that Ericles wrote, the story of a Magogian about Beldergord. Zeno watched all of this story and was amazed. He then looked at Heracles next to one of the sides of the city of Ariel, floating in a vast space filled with stars. Then all of a sudden, a lightning hit the tower next to Vajran, and immediately all five beings forgot about what Heracles ever did, and all they could remember was that they never left the heaven. They knew something unpleasant had happened, but it felt more like a dream and not reality. Zeno then said, "The world where evil existed and in which we fought to survive against death and sin, all of it was just a really bad dream. In reality, we never left heaven. All of it was just a lie." My goodness, what imagination. Not a good imagination, I should say. They all realized that they had lived not in reality, but in a horrible dream, and that they were now finally awake. All of a sudden, from the top of the tower next to Vajran rose a bright red rock. Vajran said, "Here's the Sarmadis rock, and whoever gains possession of it is the knower of all things in the cosmos." Loniferianji and Sonji Crape rose from the two sides of the city, and they stayed next to each side of the rock, crossing a tunnel of blue and gray lights, with the rock floating in between them, and they were heading towards the great giant at the end of the tunnel. Upon arrival, they pushed the rock forward towards Zynex Hava, who grabbed the rock and placed it on top of his rod that he held with his hands in the upright position. He was then glorious with a show of lightning and thunder over a city that looked like that it was on the white moon's surface with stars dotting the sky. Zynex Haber said, "May it be, Samaria shall rise." The Zeno was transported to the desert of Iraq near the Persian Gulf in what is now Uruk. There was a very strong and hairy man called Robert Tiriano. The spaceship landed over the desert while Robert Tiriano was cutting some wood. From the disc-shaped ship came a man from a door that opened. The man approached the surprised Robert Tiriano and said, holding a wheel, "I am Darte, and I came here to talk to you." When Robert Tiriano saw Darte and the wheel that he was looking, he said, kneeling down, "That is exactly what I was looking for. I need something round so that people can have transportation." Darty agreed. After some time talking, Darty spent a week with Robert Soriano, helping him build the world's first carriages pulled by donkeys, from which he was able to travel up north to Scythia. Zeno had all these visions about what had happened, and at last he could not understand where he was again as he began crossing an orange-red tunnel. And he was also spinning while crossing. His eyes were like spirals. At the end of the tunnel, he meets Voldo again, who gave Zeno a book. When Zeno grabbed the book, Voldo said, "Let us build Samaria in Mesopotamia." Zeno said, "We sure will." Then Voldo said, "Point your finger to that man over down there." When Zeno looked down to earth, he saw Noman sleeping over a rock in the desert of Iraq near Uruk. Zeno then pointed his finger to that man's head and said, "May it be." Voldo said, "That man's name is Jacovinita, and he will start the idea of civilization and will become the first king in all of Samaria." Zeno then saw a clock ahead of him, and time moved forward at a fast pace. He then had a vision of the great city on the moon. Volodya then said, "Humans were successful, and this shows the glory of the heavenly host. They have reached space and shall spread their seed throughout the universe, praising the universal Lord." Following this, Zeno had a vision of Zynex Haven in full glory. At last, Volodya showed Zeno a page with the following. Golgue then said, "Pray every day and worship every day, so nightmares shall never become reality, and so that the lights will be upon all the universe for all eternity." A huge explosion then occurred, and that was the birth of a new universe with a new heaven and a new earth. And Volodya said, "May a new cycle begin,